and I'm very optimistic that in this week we should be concluding with the course, so we can start some other things in the next week. Okay. So with this being said, let's hop straight into it. Okay. So we have yeah, I think I should try marker. Let's see how this works. So we have POL221. Okay. So we have according to what we have on the thumbnail, it says early nationalist and political movements. That's what we'll be taking our bearing from tonight. The early nationalists. I think we've spoken about what a nation is, and some constitution, that of Clifford, and the amalgamation. All this we've spoken about, and the constitution of Frederick Lugard, and basically we'll be taking our bearing from the nationalist, right, movements. So we have it as early nationalists and political movements All right. So we're looking at some early nationalist and political movements that led, all right, to some change in power, change in some constitution, and change in some. Okay. So I think we are back now. That was the thing with the network. Like I was saying, the political movement and the nationalist movement was as a result of actions and decisions made by nationalist leaders. All right, nationalist leader played a lot of roles, significant role in the changing of power, all right, and turning around the situation of things. All right, now let's take for example, all right, let's dissect, all right, the nationalist leaders and how the strategy at which they employ in ensuring things get better. Now we have the very first one. We have the Lagos Youth Movement. All right, this is one of the first movements, which was later changed to Nigerian Youth Movement. All right, that's the NYM. It was at first, when it was introduced, it was referred to as the Lagos Youth Movement. Lagos Youth Movement. All right, and it was later changed to Nigerian Youth Movement. All right, Nigerian Youth Movement. That is one of the earliest nationalist movements. All right, we have the likes of Albert Macaulay. All right, the likes of Albert Macaulay. That's the movements using the, all right, NNDP. All right, NNDP meaning Nigerian National Democratic Party. It's one of the movements. All right, Nigerian Nationalist. All right, National, I beg your pardon, Democratic, all right, Party. Nigerian National Democratic Party. That is headed by Albert Macaulay. and we have the NCNC, all right, the NCNC, which happens to be the National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon, all right, National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon. Okay, the National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon. All right, that's led by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. All right, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Albert Macaulay. All right, for the NNDP. Also, we have these were the three major political platforms used by Nigerian leaders to confront the British colonial administration. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, these were the three major, the three major political platforms, all right, the nationalist leaders used in confronting the colonial administration. All right. The colonial administration. So basically we have that as that. So permit me to raise the board so we can take some more points. Okay. Now, let's quickly talk about the word nationalism. All right. Before we proceed, let's talk about the word or the term nationalism. Okay. Now, nationalism, all right, is somewhat of complex, all right, concept. All right, somewhat of complex concept to grasp in terms of definition, all right, as there is no single factor to which it could be traced. Well, basically, nationalism is usually a passion for unity. All right, it's what? A passion for unity. Okay, so you can come across the question, dash is a passion for, all right,
all right,
okay, so we have that as that. It's a passion for unity. All right, nationality is a passion for unity. All right, community, tribes, geographical contiguity, religion, and cultural affinity. All right, to crown it all up, political and historical aspiration. So now the passion for unity, the unity we are talking about here, unity of community. Okay, unity of passion for unity, all right, cultural affinity, cultural affinity, community of tribes, all right, and to crown it all up, political and historical aspiration. Political, all right, a passion for unity, cultural affinity, community of tribes, political and historical aspiration. All right, so we have that as nationalism. It is therefore a phenomenon derived from the word nation. All right. It is a phenomenon. It is a phenomenon derived from the word nation. So let's take the definition of price in 1967. So according to Price in 1967, it defines nation as an association of men and women who have or believe that they have the following things in common. Association of men and women, association of men and women who have or believe that they have that believes they have certain things, all right, in common. Okay, so certain things like common ancestry, common history, tradition, language, culture, religion, and share common boundary. Are we together? All right, things like we have ancestry, all right, language, tradition, all right, culture, religion, and share common boundary. Culture, religion, and share, all right, boundaries, and share common boundaries. I think I should include that. Common boundaries. So we have that as that is the definition from Price 1967. All right, so we have that as that. So let's take it back to what we said about nationalism, which you said is a phenomenon that cannot be traced. All right, it doesn't have, it's a very complex word to grasp as it cannot be traced to a particular definition. But all in all, we said we concluded for the fact that nationalism meaning passion for unity, all right, cultural affinity, okay, community of tribes, political and historical aspiration. All right, so we say definitely it's a phenomenon derived from the word nation. And Price in 1967 defined nation as association, all right, an association of men and women that believe they have, all right, that believe they have, all right, the following things in common, things like common ancestry, common language, common tradition, common culture, common religion, and share common boundaries. All right, so we have that as that. So permit me to raise the board so we can take some more points. So now we have the word nationalism. The word nationalism can also be explained within the premise of a state, all right, given the symbolic relationship between the two concepts, all right. There's a symbolic relationship between a state, all right, and a nation. A symbolic relationship. Sorry, symbiotic. That's what I was meant to say. I was wondering the word wasn't correct. Symbiotic. All right. It is symbiotic. All right. Symbiotic relationship. Sorry for that. Okay, so we have that as that. And when we talk about symbiotic relationship, all right, we are talking about the version of marker for this. We're talking about the interaction between two different between two different things, all right, interaction between two different things, all right, living in close physical association. Okay, and it's the symbiotic relationship between the state and the nation. So the state is different from the nation, all right, but they have what we call symbiotic relationship. Okay, so we have that as that. Now let's continue. In fact, the two concepts are often used interchangeably, all right. They are often used all right interchangeably. Okay. Now, now, when we say a state, all right, the possibility of a definite territory, all right, all right, definite territory, all right, but that's not the case, all right, in the case of a nation, all right, they might not have what we call definite territory, all right, nation might not have a definite territory, but that's not the case in the when it comes to a state. All right, so a state, all right, is an organized association organized, all right, for specific purpose. A specific, all right, purpose. Okay, we are back. So as I was saying, a state is an association, all right, of organized, all right, association, an association organized for a specific purpose, okay, with a clearly defined territory. An organized association of association organized for a specific purpose, all right, with a clearly defined territory and an organized system of governments. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. But a nation, on the other hand, may not have its territory or clearly, all right. A nation okay, a nation may not have its territory clearly defined, all right, unlike a state. All right, like let's say for example, Yoruba nation has its territory across two modern national, all right, two modern nation states, all right, two modern states, e.g. Yoruba nation, right, has its territory it has its territory across two modern states, the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Benin Republic. All right, Federal Republic of Nigeria and Benin Republic. All right, that's a nation for you. All right, and as we have Fulani, the Hausa Fulani also has a territory across many countries in West Africa. All right, so we have that as that. So permit me to erase the board. So I think after this class, we're having 2 more classes on this course, and with that, we should be able to conclude the course. So permit me to erase the board so we can take more. my goodness. Sorry about that. Just a moment. Okay. Okay. I think it's manageable this way. Okay. Please let's continue. Okay, okay, we are live again. So let's talk about some misconception of nationalism. Okay, so we have misconception of nationalism. A lot of persons, right? Too many people believes that the term nationalism connotes a tendency of warfare. A tendency of warfare tendency of warfare. All right, talks about the tendency of warfare, okay, between ethnic groups or warfare ethnic groups or a force that okay a force that's destabilized. Okay, I think it's a little bit better now. We're back stable. Okay, so this is one of the the popular misconception about um, nationalism. All right. Now, the fact is that nationalism is a phenomenon that affects people, all right, everyday action in many positive ways without necessarily making them, all right, violent. Okay, now please note that another misconception about nationalism is that another misconception about nationalism is that, all right, another misconception that must be cleared is that it is something, all right, it is fundamentally different from racism. Okay, it is totally different from racism. The network is pretty bad tonight. Okay, so on this note, we'll call it a wrap for today. In our next class, we'll continue to debunk, all right, the rumors, the misconception about national